All right, boys. So we have one of the patch notes, one of the few remaining patch notes leading into global launch. So it's going to give us a bit of an insight as to what to expect in terms of future content as well. So this is like a this is kind of like a win-win when updates. So first off is that at the very top here, they're just adding some open world dungeons and events into Talandre, which we don't really have to worry about at this point in time. It's going to be a while before we ourselves get to Landre and we have to deal with the tier 3 dungeons, which is actually releasing as well, because they said that they were going to release one every other week or every 2 weeks. The first one being this one up top here, and the next one here, which is the Tragic Mansion Limuni Berkant, which is this lady right here. That's something that if you're playing KR, you can look forward to doing as long as you have beyond 3500 or beyond combat power or gear score. And then we actually have the free, well, it's technically free server transfer as well in the in KR, which you can just buy a 29,000 Solent, which is honestly, that's probably like a couple contracts that you can do. So it's basically free, right? Solent being like the gold currency in the game. So 29k Solent is like nothing. You can get it, like you can get that in a few mobs on an open world dungeon. And then the other thing that they have here is something that a lot of arena players are going to look forward to. Like, the arena system is being improved. When matching in the arena, each team is limited to one character using a longsword. The problem with longsword is by holding it, you're already tanky, right? Now, the problem isn't inherently in just the longsword itself, but if you combine a longsword with something that's inherently broken, let's say greatsword, for example, and I'm not ashamed to admit this as somebody who main spec for the longest time was longsword, greatsword, was sword and shield, greatsword, right? It's it becomes very oppressive just because like you're tanky by default if you're holding your sword and shield, which you don't have any reason to hold a great sword on your main hand because it doesn't have any extra, block or shield block or offhand attack. Then there's really no reason to. So you're just constantly tanky, and meanwhile you have all this HP and hit rate and extra, for some reason, heavy attack that greatsword is given in order to be as oppressive as it is. You can now exchange arena coins by achieving weekly goals for rewards. You can exchange your profile border according to your ranking, and rewards will be given at the end of the season. So it's basically like seasonal gameplay, kind of like the same in any ranked competitive ladder. So that's I think this is something that is actually pretty good for the PvP heads, because as you'll notice in the progression of Thorn and Liberty, they're starting to really cater to the PvE players as well, which is good because majority of the player base in MMORPGs are PvE players. So you have to cater to that in order for you to have a successful game. In the meantime, however, this is kind of good in a way that you're also adding more PvP rewards or PvP content without taking away too much from either side of the PvE PvP player base. Characters using longsword, magic wand are limited to only one each. All right. Weekly goals added. If you achieve the weekly goal of the arena, you can receive arena coins, and weekly goals reset every Wednesday at 6 p.m. I'm guessing it's going to be every Wednesday for us as well in global launch, because again, as the devs themselves said, they're following global will follow a one-to-one patch with Korea, even though we don't follow the same update for obvious reasons, right? Like they can't release Talandre week 1, for example, because of the milestone system and because it just makes sense that way. That NPC is going to be Arena Merchant Nikolai, located in Castle Village in Castle Arena. Okay, so oh wow, are those actually accessories I see? Oh, okay. Ranking rewards when the arena season ends. Rewards will be awarded based on the final ranking. I wonder if they're gonna put PvP stats in this game for arena accessories and arena rewards in general, just because they already have PvP damage reduction that you earn from level 31 to level 51 for a total of 10%. So, wouldn't be surprised And then here you'll see some more rewards. This looks like a ground mount, kind of like a saber-toothed tiger looking thing. And then this looks like is that like a falcon glide mount? And this one right here is a shark, which is very similar to the shark that you get from the early access pre-order. Just that that one is like a bit more like black pink. So that's really good that you get all these rewards for it, and you'll know right away who is in the higher rank, who's in like the top rankings, just because of the fact that like, well, they have amount to, you know, like something to show for it, which I think is something that a lot of like new MMOs nowadays kind of like lack to some degree. The fact that it's like you want to improve your character, but at the same time you also want to really show how you've improved your character. And this, I think this is like one of those things in the game. Granted, like TNL does have some pretty sick yeah, it does have some pretty sick progression armor. Here we have, are these borders? Oh, portrait borders. So this is usually like how your portrait looks like when somebody hovers over your name, or adds you to the friends list, or clicks on your name. And now they're adding ranked borders to it, so that's even more ways to show off that, you know, that you actually worked hard on your character. You got your rankings. This is really nice, really good updates in terms of PvP. It's I'm always like kind of like with the opinion that I really like rewards that are aesthetically pleasing, or add something aesthetic, like aesthetically add something to your character, because let's be real, a lot of the end game in MMORPGs really is fashion. Once you have the all-time high gear score, all that really matters at that point is how cool you look, and I think this adds a lot to it, right? So you're gonna have the profile border according to arena level, which you can adjust in your mirror boutique, and the Festival of Fire regional event will be reorganized into a co-op type. Okay, so they give us a PvP update, and then they're gonna give us a PvE update. So it's cooperation is probably like healthier than peace, I would assume, because usually when it's like peace, the farmer classes will outclass people, right? Like people are more incentivized to kill steal people, and you know, if somebody's gathering a pack of mobs, somebody's gonna kill steal it, because like, why not, right? It's like people are not incentivized to be nice in in these like in something that's supposed to be like a peace setting. So cooperation, I think, is a really good change here. Festival of Fire regional event will now occur during the day as well, and yeah, I feel like this is really good. If you're gonna go PvE, go full PvE on something, right? And then when you go PvP, like this stuff right here, go full PvP. There you go. Everybody has, so far PvP and PvP heads have something to at least be happy about. So that's really good. Step 1, goes by stage, you must recover all of Permacan stones, which is how it usually is, and then you must extinguish the fire that started in the priest I don't really know how to pronounce this. If I pronounce this, I'd probably say Brazzers or something. I don't know. Added more. Oh wow. You must break the defense of the fire orc priest by defeating the fire orc. Bro, like, let me know your opinion, but I feel like turning peace events into cooperation events is a lot healthier for the game. It kind of reminds you of Guild Wars 2, like you know, like open world real-time events, sort of, or even in like New World, which I thought was a really good experience for me. Is that you're not really competing and kill stealing people anymore, so people don't get pissed off. Now you have these things. If you're gonna go full PvPs, go full PvPs. Have everybody work together, and I think this one offers a much better feeling in terms of events, because like everybody's working together, nobody's pissing other people off, and you're all getting the same rewards. So I think this is really good. It's really good for PvE players in general, or players in general actually. This is really good, and it's also really good for casuals that just can't like be bothered really to compete with the top scorer on an event or something like that. I think this is really good, and so far we've opened up a PvP, a PvE, and also a casual PvE content that people can enjoy, which is going to be the majority of our player base. So don't hate on this event if you're a PvPer. This is good for us, right? This is good for the health of the game, and we should be all for it. Bonus stage, you must defeat the ferocious orc chieftain. Oh, it would be nice if, like, in the early game, in the early days of launch, like, this guy is just like impossible to kill, and he's just gonna wreck us, so we can't get the bonus stage rewards or something like that, and then we just slowly progress, and then we slowly just like destroy him. I think that would be really nice progression wise. And then they could just scale it to, you know, scale it to be doable, depending on like the average gear score that's in the map or something like that. That would be nice. The Lights Requiem regional event will be reorganized into a co-op type. So from peace to wait. Are they gonna slowly move peace events into cooperation events? If they do, this is actually really good. I think they're doing these two first, just to test it out and see like the feedback that they get from players. If players like it more, then they're just gonna be like, well, why not, right? And honestly, why not? Like, Guild Wars 2 does it, people enjoy it, I enjoyed it. Yeah, so my guess is they're going to be implementing these, gathering player feedback, and then if people like it, they're just going to turn all the peace events into co-op events. I think that's overall going to be a lot better for the game. The playing experience of some content will change. The health of field bosses in the Talandre region has been increased. Contribution reduction upon death is applied differently depending on the regional status. I'm not sure what regional status means, but health of the field bosses is probably because people in Korea in general, or the people that were competing for the Talandre bosses, are getting to the upper 4Ks, and these bosses are starting to become more and more easier for them to kill. So that's good. That's a good change. Increase in vitality. Change so that the contribution of the monster you are fighting does not decrease when you die in a safe, peaceful duel area. Oh, quality of life. When you die in a conflict, war, battle, faction, battle area, the contribution of the monsters you were fighting will be reduced by 70%. Oh, okay. This is really good too. That way, even PvEers will, you know, people who don't care too much about PvP that still want to tag, at the very least they still have some type of contribution. Like, this is like the confirmation of that, essentially. Like, it'll be reduced, but you know, it's like how much more rewarding do you want PvP events for you to be, right? PvP bosses especially. Collaborative dungeon. In the 1-star dimension, the boss's core pattern has been changed to be used starting from 90% health. After 90% of the core patterns, the combat patterns are used according to time as before. What do they mean by boss's core pattern? The mechanics? Is that what they mean? It's like the boss starts doing like all the mechanics as soon as he gets to 90% health instead, or something like that? We'll see. We'll see. We'll have to... I'm gonna make the tier 1 dungeon videos again anyway, or rather remake them. So this will be good. This will be good. We can check this out with the new event, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't do the dungeon event dungeon guides yet, because then this actually changes. This might potentially change everything, and now I'll actually be able to make an up-to-date guide. So this is really good. Some combat experiences are changed and improved. Damage is added to the longsword chain hook skill. They're gonna add damage to it? Oh no. This is... if they're gonna add damage to chain hook, that means it's gonna one-shot like the rats in the castle. So you can't do the castle cheese anymore. Improved status immunity system. Oh, I want to find more out about this. When using a beneficial skill on a target outside the range, an option to use on yourself has been added. Good. Good. And sometimes, bro, if they're not in range, and so for some reason like you haven't de-targeted them, instead of casting like a buff or a heal on yourself, let's say like for wand or even like bow, it'll start chasing the other character that's like probably halfway across the map, and it was very annoying. So I'm glad they finally fixed this one. Longsword, change the application to inflict damage equal to 100% of the basic damage of chain. It's gonna deal 100% more basic damage. This is to prevent the act of taking the Stoneguard Castle sword hats. Oh no. The rat strat is out of the picture, bro. And it's funny because I just mentioned it up here, and they mentioned it down here as well. And I only mentioned it up here because it came to mind because that was like what I was personally doing to the rats in Castle Siege to try to take it out, so people couldn't sneak unless they had like max distance, like, or something like that. But even then, you could have them behind, like, up the stairs and behind like the wall, so like even if people had like max range or like high, like 30+ meter range on their shadow strike, they still wouldn't be able to get to it. But now this changes things. Now it's just gonna actually eliminate the rats. So all right. The phenomenon or the range damage would ignore the target's judgment. When the piercing strike skill specialization was applied, the shield strike has been fixed. Target's judgment, where the range damage would ignore the target's judgment. What is target's judgment? I don't know what judgment is. It's maybe some sort of like CC resistance or something like that, since piercing strike, which is the specialization for shield strike or shield bash, technically is a CC. Well, I don't know. That's probably that's probably it, right? Abnormal status. The status immunity gauge has been changed to increase more quickly. The status immunity gauge has been changed to decrease more quickly when no status effect is applied. The status immunity precursor time has been shortened to 1.5 seconds. So this is like, I feel like this is like them testing the waters again and looking for community feedback. And this is kind of like these things that, like, you know that they're fishing for community feedback with like certain updates like this, which also is a really good sign, because that's how you know that these devs are actually listening. And as if like the way that the game has evolved since the start of the game to like 9 months down the line isn't enough of a sign for you to realize that, like, yes, these devs are actually listening and making like good changes based on player feedback. If that's not proof enough, then at the very least, like, these changes and the ones up there should be another thing to add to the list of like why devs listen in this game. And preferences, add in an option to use it on yourself when using a skill that is beneficial. Okay. So you just have to go to settings, controls, and attack, and you can have that. This is really good. I myself will be 100% using this because it's very annoying when I'm not trying to buff anybody and I have to like spam escape, or like sometimes escape doesn't work. You have to self-target yourself too. So that's good. Some systems will be improved and adjusted to improve convenience. Some systems, presentation has been improved to distinguish between the start and end of the adventure codex. Oh, wait, what? Presentation has been improved to distinguish between the start and the end of the adventure codex. Okay. I'd like to see this. Party recruitment. Improve the sound effect output where there is an applicant during party recruitment. Okay. Never had a problem with that, but more clarity is always good. When you select party member list in a party recruitment post, the window will be fixed and you can check the business cards and weapon information of the party members belonging to the recruitment post. Good. Weapon information of players who have not selected the weapon information disclosure option cannot be checked. Okay. So unless somebody knows that you're geared, if you block them from checking your weapon combination and like your weapons or viewing your weapons, then you're probably not gonna get into the party because they're, a lot of the times they just don't want to risk that shit, right? Which makes sense. Chat text size options have been expanded from 3 to 5 levels. Okay, bigger text. And improve the animations at the start and end of Adventure Codex. Wait, what? Bro, this looks hella nice. Oh my god. Yeah. That looks visually a lot more visually appealing, I'll have to say. I like this a lot. This is really good. Nice. It's just little things like this, man, that just makes the game look even more polished. It's so good. Beginner's guide. Added to help to revisit items that are guided in the growth section. Good. Good beginner's guide. 2 new feast dishes are added. If you haven't watched that video where I tell you how to level up your cooking as free to play even faster, You know, and there you go. No, I was kidding. I think you don't have to spend level cooking anyway. I don't think you can. Banquet food. 2 new feast foods have been added: Alamar Banquet and Herba Banquet. Can be consumed by up to 6 people. So you could just, you could be the banquet dude. You know what I mean? World of Warcraft. Characters that have already received the same effect cannot consume it again. It disappears when players consume the food 6 times or 10 minutes have passed since installation. So now you have boss additional damage 15. Is this like additional base damage or like flat? If this is like actual boss additional base damage, this is huge. Boss hit 40, which, I mean, who's really missing on a boss? And then boss critical hit 70. It can be made when your cooking reaches level 25 or higher. Okay, so make sure that you don't slack off on on buying those ingredients every single day, and then level your cooking the free-to-play way, the easy way, and get that all the way up there. So preference items have been subdivided. Gameplay characters improved to distinguish between show my information and publicize my information. So it's just the wording, I'm guessing, that they're gonna change there. Show my information, show my info and HUD, display your nameplate, HPMP, weapon details, reveal name when broadcasting item acquisition. The name of the existing show name when broadcasting item acquisition option has been changed. Is this like, I hope I'm okay, this is my information, so it's just an option for you to not reveal your stuff in there when you get something, which honestly I think for everybody's sanity, everybody should check this off. Change the initial values. Some default settings have been changed. Controls show lock on control guide. Existing on change horrible. Huh? That's gotta be a mistranslation. What's yeah, I don't know what that is, bro. Sound amatoy 100% to 50%. Okay. Collaborative error. Force of Grudge. The issue where poison damage in the poison zone can be defended against with defensive skills has been fixed. Fix an issue where the immobilization effect would not be lifted when defeating King Kanzaijin while being targeted by a meteor. Scream Torture Chamber. Fix an issue where a certain number of ghosts would not appear intermittently when Caligrass ghost pattern was activated. Okay, so this is just some I think content like PvE changes. Challenge dimensional effect has been fixed to not be applied to monsters in the Finding Source of Madness in the Fog section of Island of Bloody Rage. Be a field boss. Issue where map icon would appear as Pakilo Naru while during the Leviathan event has been fixed. So visual change the local events. The Archeum Heavy Armor Commander Surprise and Magic Commander appearing in Healing Hands of the Divine Being have been modified to be immune to the Petrification Freeze effect. Okay. Fix an issue where Drilla, Gidro, and Tormek were looking at strange places in Operation Obsidian securing. I'm not sure what that means. Adventure Act 13. We don't have to worry about this in global because this Act 13, anything beyond Act 10 really is Talandre anyway. Guild Raid. Fix an issue where Pakilo Naru would not go berserk after 10 minutes of the battle starting. So there's no enrage mechanic. Siege. The issue where the number of occupied resurrection points in the list information on the siege battle status board were inconsistent has been fixed. Thank God. Okay, because this could cause like some major miscommunication issues if it happens at the wrong time. So that's good. The issue where the silence debuff was applied with 100% chance when hit by the water golem archer skill in Fightis Conquest has been fixed. Experience information for Sawtooth Mudshark and Hungry Mudshark, which is like, this is like Talandre. Has been changed. Cooking. Fix an issue where the rare mushroom stir fry item could be used in conjunction with the mushroom stir fry and excellent mushroom stir fry. Okay, so it was stacking. All right, I actually didn't know that. Fix an issue where the duration of rare mushroom stir fry was applied differently than indicated. Unused engraved gems. You can obtain gemstones of the same level by melting down crafted gems that are no longer in use. Mirror Boutique. Okay, just quality of life changes there, or issue changes or issue fixes. Fix an issue where the recommended content guide would not be displayed in the content notification when you did not have enough levels to progress through the adventure codex. This is just like, requesting really. Guild. Fix an issue where the incorrect images would occasionally be displayed when quickly exchanging tabs in a guild window. And the issue where line breaks could not be used in the guild introduction has been fixed. Oh, good. That was like a slight pet peeve of mine. Mail, the issue where the line breaks could not be made in the main text has been fixed. UI error fixes. Screen message not displaying. Incorrectly displayed in photo mode. Creating a character. Moving up and down using the mouse wheel and the event calendar did not work smoothly. That's good. Gamepad fixes. Oh, let's see what you got from gamepads. The issue where settings, gameplay, target selection, and attack target filter conflict area option was displayed even when gamepad was not connected has been fixed. Okay. Fix an issue where the special shop could not be operated smoothly with a gamepad. Oh, okay. And some items can be assigned keys in the user settings under preferences, gamepad controls. So even more console changes. Not the changes that I was like hoping for. At least like maybe not yet, seeing as they do give attention to consoles. So hopefully they give the console players the much needed like edit UI feature that they sorely need. I tried playing on console myself, and yeah, not being able to move your HP closer to your character is yeah, it sucks.
You know you're mine, baby. So come give me love. I never felt nothing quite like this. I get a high every time we kiss. Can't get enough, babe.